Violet Evergarden. Last year, this is an anime that was relentlessly recommended by not just everyone that I've subscribed to and who I have legitimate trust in, but also from my sister. Every single second she appears on my face. The last time I watched this anime is when I'm waiting for my plane to arrive on the airport in the middle of 2018. And after watching the first 3 episodes, my first thought was, is this a Fate fanfiction? Welcome to another installment of Uncapped, the bluer the better and better late than never. Today's Uncapped is gonna be about the one anime that appears in a lot of people's best anime of this year, Violet Evergarden. So what's the story? Well, the anime takes place in a post-war Victorian setting of some sort. You follow the story of a blonde girl who is an emotionless soldier with absolutely no grasp of human emotion named Violet Evergarden. She was initially tasked as a weapon of war that will bring peace into the world by killing everyone. You know what, screw it, she's freaking Saber, and she's a servant for a man named Gilbert who eventually becomes a mayor in the war and dies early on in the story. The mayor uttered the word "I love you," but Saber hasn't gone into the hentai portion yet, so she cannot comprehend this utterly confusing message, and thus she takes the journey to comprehend the meaning of "I love you." So can Violet Evergarden truly find the meaning of love from her former master? Violet Evergarden reminds me so much of Death Parade, which is an anime that I recommend. The concept of the anime is that you're just a normal everyday worker doing a seemingly innocuous task, but there's a lot of drama involved for specific clients and or circumstances, which is why the anime is served in an episodic format. These dramas often involve the personal stories of the clients, and every story will try their hardest to tug your heartstrings, and at times it is quite successful, which is why I understand why it's getting a gleaming recommendation from every soul on the planet, but I'm a heartless bastard who is immune to this sort of thing, and I gotta say, the anime sometimes tries a bit too hard to tug my heartstrings. I bring the Death Parade comparison once again to illustrate that juxtaposition is important. Death Parade can offer more than just drama. In fact, most of the episodes are actually game shows and comedy before finally getting to the drama. That's what makes the drama effective. It is something to compare to. Violet has a couple of lighthearted moments and some action moments to break the tension, but it's like 80% scenes that are very heavy on the drama. If a story keeps on focusing at the tear-jerking moments, you'll eventually run out of tears and have to torturously squeeze every water out of your eyes. This might definitely work to a lot of people, as evidenced with the glowing recommendation from pretty much everyone, but I personally feel that I'm being emotionally manipulated to cry with this anime, rather than genuinely crying. Maybe it's just me being a heartless bastard, and if it is just me, then the least that I could say is that the anime will definitely make you cry. But let's get back to our titular character. She's the main spotlight of this anime after all. Thankfully, despite how robotic and emotionless he is, she's actually not a bad character. She's a really good character who not only learns from the stories, but also suffers a massive emotional damage on her own. It is best illustrated right after the penultimate mid-season episode, where things are going back to the status quo, but the viewers see Violet in a different perspective as not only a physically damaged character, but also emotionally damaged as well. Despite having an episodic format, every episode does enough to have Violet to keep learning new things. It always makes Violet to learn something more about love. While I do joke about how the characters could have just told her, I have to admit her journey in finding the meaning of love is something that is definitely a solid ride. You will eventually learn about the meaning of love with her throughout the journey thanks to the emotional task with other characters. She also grows up to understand more about human emotions and empathy, so Violet Evergarden herself did not disappoint as a character, and you really needed that if you want an anime named after this character. And now let's give the anime props for something that it does really damn well, and that, my friend, is episode 10. I've talked briefly about how episode 10 of Violet Evergarden is the true highlight of the anime, and the one that absolutely steals the show. And it does. It absolutely freaking does. This episode is one of the best stories and perhaps the best episode that I have ever seen in anime ever. It is a really beautifully done and cleverly put together story that I guarantee would break even the most veterans of anime viewers into tears. It steals the show so much. I would actually recommend all of you to see episode 10 regardless of whether or not you've seen the anime at all. The anime is episodic in nature and episode 10 is one of them. It offers one of the best anime stories in a while, and it is an instant timeless classic that truly defines the anime. But once again, we need to judge the anime as a whole, and overall, Violet Evergarden is pretty good for anybody who didn't expect too much from an anime about girl writing emotional letters. It is a nice emotional core to tug the heartstrings of most newcomers, and a solid character journey to back up those emotional moments. It does try a bit too hard for my liking, but if it works, I can't exactly complain. So this is an anime that is absolutely beautiful, both in story and visuals. And just like any other soul who came across this anime, it got a solid recommendation out of me. 4 blue caps out of 5. Not exactly perfect, but it does what it does really damn well and gives a solid journey for a solid character. That being said, I'm gonna give episode 10 a perfect 5 blue caps out of 5. It is an absolute masterpiece, a remarkable piece of storytelling, a beautiful and heartbreaking story that should be witnessed and enjoyed by everyone. Regardless of whether or not you want to see or you don't want to see the rest of the anime, this is an episode that you simply cannot miss. Go see it. It's that brilliant.